Menahot Daf Chav Chima al Amud Aleph, 38 lines down by the Mishnah, beginning of the line. Shtei menachot shelo nechmesu v'ntarvuz bezov. You have two menachot that do not do kmitza to either of them yet, and they became mixed. Im yachol lekmot mizu b'fnei atzma, umizu b'fnei atzma kesherah. If you're able to do kmitza on this one separately and that one separately, they're kasher. V'im la pisot. If they're two mixed up, then you can't. Then it's pasul. Comment to the Arab minha shlukum comments became mixed with the minha that did not do kmitza yet. Lo yaktir, you can't burn the extra on the mizbeach. B'meitin, if you did it, zush kmitza ola gbalim. That which already did kmitza is good for the owner to eat it, and the yani counts. Sorry, zush lo kmitza lo ala did not do kmitza yet, it does not count. Next, يتعرض خمسة بشيرها أو بشيرها حفرتها. If the comet of the minha became mixed with its own remainder, or the remainder of another minha, لا يكتير, don't burn it. ואם هكتير علا اللي بعدي, if you did burn it, it counts. Okay, ما رح حسدا. نبلا بتلا بشحوتا. Nivela meat became nullified when it's mixed with a larger amount of regular slaughtered meat. Nivela is an animal that was not slaughtered correctly. So you have a piece of meat that got killed by the cow got killed by a gunshot, and a small piece of meat got mixed with a bunch of meat that was slaughtered correctly. It becomes nullified because slaughtered meat can become like nevela meat, meaning since this is a case of min she'enu b'milo, min b'she'enu mino, something that's not mixed with its own type, because even though they're both technically meat, but kosher meat can never become non-kosher meat. And therefore it does not become batel. Ushhuta inam vitla nevela. Slaughtered meat does not become nullified in nevela. She'efshar nevela shte'aseh b'shhuta, because technically it is possible for the nevela to become like slaughtered meat. Because once the nevela meat becomes rotten, it loses its status as nevela meat. Now it's like technically just dirt, and therefore there's no yisur. So technically that can become batel because min shemimino. Rehan says no. Anything that can become like the majority is not batel. Anything that is not possible can become batel. So basically, he's going according to the minority, and previously been according to the majority. Now, who's according to? It sounds like according to Hamim, only things that go in the Zbeach cannot become batel. But if it wasn't that and it was with its own kind, it would become batel. Why would that also not make sense? He goes according to the way it looks. And this meat, they both look like meat. So it should not happen at all. Then Rabbi Yechia holds, Nevela meat and slaughtered meat can become nullified in each other. And our Gemara says, Rabbi Yechia, that's not what Rabbi Yechia holds like. He only holds Mizbeach stuff, not become Batel. But over here it should. But according to Bida, anything that's mixed with its own kind cannot become Batel. Really, I'll leave the Rabbi, it is according to Rabbi. But anything that Rabbi says that does not become batel, that only applies when it's possible for one to become like the other. But if it's not possible to transfer to the next to the new one, like it cannot be, they're completely different. Therefore, we consider them unlike, and therefore they can become nullified. As follows: you go according to the nullifying piece, the majority. And Rechia holds you go according to the minority, the part that's being withheld. Okay, now Mishnah says proof for Rabbi Chanina. Our Mishnah says two menachot did not do kmitza, became mixed. If you're able to do kmitza separately, it's kasher. If not paslot, in this case, if you did kmitza on one of them, the neck, the rest of the mincha becomes extra. And does not become, and the remainder does not become nullify the tevel, the other mincha, which does not do kmitza yet. Mani, who's according to he says that only things that are not brought in did not become nullified. But this technically, since it would be part of the mixing online will be batal. Allah bishita rabbi must going to be done. Bishna the mar batal the makes according to the opinion holds that Rihina holds that you go according to the majority. Batel having Batel, because in this case, the thing that's being nullified, which is the Tevel, the non separated part of the other Korban, can become the nullifying part. The Chil commits me that because when you do commit on the second one, have the Shiram Kihana, they're both considered remainders. According to the opinion holds like Rav Hizah that you go according to the sorry, the other one's minority, the other majority. Shida Mika have mitla. The remainder cannot become tevel. It can never be considered similar. This question against Rabbi Chia, where it says no, that opinion is according to what Rabbi um Rabbi Zera holds. Ne'emra haktira b'kometz ne'emra haktira b'shiraim. Burning, the word burning mentioned by the comment and also mentioned by extra part of the remaining part of the shiraim of Menachot. And then for what? Just like the burning of a comment cannot one comment not be mevatel the next. Af haktira hamura b'shiraim and shiraim mevatel comments to the burning as well does not nullify the second. So we see it looks like it's going to be based off of Xerer Shava versus actual mechanics, if you want to call it that. Okay, Tashma's main proof. How come it shouldn't have been minhal l'shmak mitzvah? The comment became mixed with the minhal that did not do kmitzayim. Lo yaktir, you cannot burn it. Vim yaktir, if you burn it, zuk shneim tzah alat not kavalim. That which you already did kmitzah counts. V'shlo mitzvah lo atat b'mklim l'ram said that anything that did not do kmitzayim will not count. V'lo kum vatel l'tidol l'kumitz. Now, obviously, over here the tail does not become does not nullify the comments, even though it's mixed. Many is according to you, the only things that are going up do not become batel. Hamim no batel, that should be batel over here. So Allah must be, must be contributed. Based on the marbatal, according to the opinion of Rabbi Chizad, that says that you go according to the nullifying the majority. That's when you nullify it. If they're alike, the batel have batel. In this case, the tevel can become like the comments by separating. The chol purta has lemizalex. Every single part of tevel can be taken as comments. The have them, therefore should be mixed with its own kind, and that should not become natal. Amandamar batel, but batar batel is in according to the Bechina holds you go according to the minority. Comments mika havatila, comments can never become a tevel. So therefore, not like the same thing, and should be nullified, but we know when it can't be. Limit low could be must be a question into Bechia. The Gemara says hanami could be zera. Not the same answers before could be zera with the zera shava. Okay. Tashma proof. The third case our Mishnah said, if the comment of mincha became mixed with the extras of another mincha, you don't burn it. If meitzir allows but you burn it, it counts. In this case, also sounds like it cannot become like what it's supposed to, like the other thing. Yani, the remainder can never become like a comment. Therefore, it's considered separate items. The law come about comments, and still the remainder does not become nullified by not nullify the comments. Not he's according to same thing. Either not the same thing. So again, maybe I'm Mishnah going against Rabbi Chia. They're going to say, no. Nemrah hakta comments, nemrah hakta b'shnaim. Same zera shad before. Ma hakta was comments in comments mevatel shia. Havro afik rabbi and Rabbi Shnaim in Mishnah mekamta havro. Same 3 questions, 3 answers. Same answer. Okay. Tashma. Tivlah b'katzah kim b'mishrin b'chom netavlim kishra. Someone spiced the dough of making matzot with spices, which is a ketzah type of fennel spice. Or with sesame. You could still count it as matzah. Matzah hi ela shnikra matzah metubelet. It's considered matzah, but it's called spicy matzah. Sounds like over here, even in a case where they added so much spices, there's more spices than matzah. Makes sense according to the Bechina, you go according to the nullified part, batel having matzah, because the matzah that's being batel can't be like the spice. Because when it's spoiled, they both lose their eligibility. They go according to the nullifying agent. Spices can never become like matzah. The law of spices are the minority. The majority of matzah and matzah does not become nullified. We also prove from the wording of the Mishnah, because it says from the Braita, matzah hi el shenikret matzah betubelet. So now we learn from what's the wording. It says it's considered matzah, but it's called spicy matzah. It's not matzah spices. Spicy matzah means the matzah is the majority. Okay. The sons of Rabbi Chia were sitting in the study and they're talking, and they said, someone split an isaron of a mincha. Yani they split the mincha in half. Then they put it into a mixing bowl that they're not touching. And the guy who's tameh for the day, he has to do mikveh at time, touches it half of it. What's halacha? Does the second half become tamei or not? Kitana Mishnah says, Kli misaref mash b'chol kodesh. The Kli sharet can combine what's inside for kodusha. Han echad, and maybe only when you're touching. Avay echad lo day, but if you're not touching, we're not combining. Odem lo be no difference. Where it says, Amar he said to them, Mitzran Kli mechaber doesn't say it joins them. Sounds like they only need to be touching. Kli misaref not in kodu. Sounds like anytime it combines, and therefore they're not touching. So over here as well, it would become tamei. Oshita had been, let's say someone put his hand and he put a third half of mincha from a different mincha in between both of them, and the guy touched one of them. Ma'awat alacha. Ma'alui says tzarich kli misarfo. If something that needs the vessel combines it. And tzarich kli in between itself. It's not needed. Since the third half, there's no need to be there. It's not enough to be a combining agent for the next, and therefore it does not combine to make him tameh. Oshit tevu yom etwitz open hand. Let's say tevu yom stuck his hand between the two halves touching the actual pieces of the mincha. Ma'awat alacha. Ma'alu ein lecha davar shemtameh mehadrot el bekli haris pilat. No, airspace does not make anything to me except for earthenware, separate halacha regarding tuma. Okay, we'll stop here.